Hiya, I'm Azaman, and I have always been a fan of visual novels because, well, I happen to like books, and also like the sound my mouse makes when it clicks. So when I found out that my friend actually worked on a few visual novels, I just had to see it for myself. So here we are, exploring Naturally Me by the Kristi HusbandoGoddess Jimenez and her very talented team, as seen here. Now before we fully dive in, allow me to give you a brief rundown on the game's main cast, starting with Lydia, the Orc Cleric. Out of everyone, I think she's the most well-rounded of the cast and has the most meaningful screen time. She plays the role of an older sister as probably the most mature one in the party. She's also very understanding and is a good leader. Then there's Constantine, the Bugbear Paladin. And yes, I will be saying Constantine. This panel is forever burned into my memory. To describe this man, I would say he's the aloof dad who's trying to act distant, but can't maintain that front for longer than 20 minutes. This guy's a big softie who cares about his kids. Plus, here's a fun thing about Constantine's design, from the character designer's mouth.
His towel.
What?
You don't see it? It's bright green.
Oh, his hanky.
Oh, the back one, the back pocket.
Yeah.
For quick reference, this was made for a queer game jam, so I put queer symbolism in all of them. Hanky is from the hanky code in the in the 60s of America.
Wait, let me guess. Wait, sorry, keep going.
I was going to explain what the hanky code was in case it was not known.
Oh no, keep going with the hanky one. I thought I got another one.
So the hanky code is basically when gay men wanted to have sex with each other, they couldn't talk about it or flirt with each other in public because the police would shoot them. So they essentially had to create a quiet code so they could tell each other like, hey, I'm a gay male and this is what I'm into. So it's like, so the one on Constantine's back pocket symbolizes that he will pay for dinner.
I thought that was neat. Next up is Trix, the Goblin Wizard, the fan favorite. She's hilarious and is the life of this party. Literally a gremlin who's seemingly never out of energy. Also, this is important, so listen closely. She's small. Trix is seemingly the person who gets the party into problems and is always ready to solve these problems in the most direct way possible. Typically by casting Fireball. Following her, we have Clams, the Rat Rouge. Okay, out of everyone here, Clams is probably the least developed, or at least it feels that way. Clams is this tough, talking, supportive bestie to Trix, and because she's constantly with Trix, it sorta leads to her being overshadowed. Kinda feeling like a sidekick, or maybe even an accessory if I'm being extreme. Yet clearly there is some depth to her, as we get little snippets of backstory related to her and occasional moments where the haha funny moments just stop. An interesting character. I probably should have talked to her that one time. Finally, we have Helia, the fairy bard, who is probably my favorite character out of this party. She's this indifferent, depressed musician who kinda plays the straight man for the party, as she's always composed and never flustered. She also has quite a few layers once she hits you with that backstory of hers, which we'll get into later in this story. Also, she likes money. She's a businesswoman. That covers the initial main cast, but we'll take detours as characters introduced. Now, before I slip and break my neck on this plot, I want to mention that for the recording of this footage, I hopped into a call with two of my friends, one of which was literally at work talking via phone. I'm just letting you know that because when I play a clip straight from that recording, you might hear a voice that isn't mine, and well, I wouldn't want you to be afraid. The plot picks up with the adventurers fresh off an adventure, relaxing in a tavern and having fun bouncing off one another. They feel like they've known each other for a very long time. As everyone is goofing around, they overhear two men talking about this quest with a reward of 10,000 gold. Wowzers! But what kind of quest would be worth 10,000 gold, you may ask? Yes, that is a good bit of money. Simple, it's slaying a dragon in a dungeon. Okay, well, maybe not in a dungeon, it's actually a cave. Anyway, hearing that tip, Trix makes a bold declaration to the entire tavern, telling them that her mighty party will go and kill the dragon. And she told the tavern that her party was doing this before talking it over with her actual party. There's a back and forth, but eventually the adults of the party, these two, relent and agree to accept the quest, sending the group off to the Adventurers Guild to acquire an adventure less than 24 hours after their last one had just ended. At the guild hall, the party learns of an unfortunate truth. The quest to go slay a dragon has already been taken, snatched away right from under them by a foul ne'er-do-well. Who is this vile villain? This not nice person? This dwarf. That dwarf warlock right there apparently took the quest to slay a dragon, all by himself. I'll be honest, that look right there on their face doesn't really scream god-slaying lone wolf. And according to the resident tactician of the party, Clams, that guy's got about a 0.00004% chance of actually pulling it off without dying horribly. So the party should probably step in. But since that dwarf looks quite nervous and not particularly social, they all agree that only one person should approach them, giving me, the player, a choice between either sending Trix, the charismatic, troublemaking, volatile wizard, to engage them in verbal conflict, or Lydia, the most approachable, patient, kind cleric, to go and have a conversation with them. I choose to listen to my friend Maya and send in the wizard, based on the theory that Trix could, and I quote, "riz them up." Trix rolls on up, smiles, and starts on the offensive by complimenting the dwarf's beard. In exchange, the dwarf reveals their name to be Borald. Countering this new discovery, Trix brings up her checkered past in the Magic Academy, an act which stuns Borald and her party because, leaving venomous snakes in someone's desk is not a very nice thing to do, or so I've heard. With the ice now thoroughly shattered, Trix goes in for the big guns, firing off a few more compliments, and then asks Borald if she and the rest of her party can accompany them on their journey to slay this dragon. To which Borald naturally replies, "No," revealing an immunity to flattery, horrifying the party, leaving them smackledorfed. And with that, Borald leaves, but Trix tries one desperate final gambit. Threats. Proclaiming, "Hey, if you better reconsider or else I'll break all the pots in your house." And yeah, that doesn't work either. Trix is left punching the ground, crying. Clams naturally goes to comfort her while the rest of the party swoops in to try and salvage the situation, which ends up being pretty easy to do when they explain that they wouldn't mind just helping Borald out, because killing a dragon really ain't a one-man job. So Borald agrees to allow the party to join them on this quest. Though like any good D&D party, everyone decides to do some shopping first. The party splits up and the camera follows Lydia, who is paired up with Borald to help them buy some extra equipment. In particular, Borald needs a close-range weapon, but is a little too shy and poor to ask for help in locating one. So Lydia takes the lead and decides to forego buying additional items, only buying her essential Theodore's harmonic replacement. And side note, I just really like how quaint this bottle looks. It's kind of like a heart shape, but not quite, and the little tag at the top is adorable. Also, the name is clever. Of course, this is a stand-in for estrogen, but the name of the potion follows the D&D spell naming convention, that being developer's name, adjective, then noun. An example, of course, being Mike's Hard Lemonade. I just thought that was cute. Back to the plot. Buying her potion, Lydia then gives Borald the remaining gold she's got, which should give him enough money to buy a dagger. The pair then head to the blacksmith, who looks quite grumpy and kind of scary, causing Lydia to remark, "Probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed," to which the narrator then interjects with, Little did Lydia know that the blacksmith actually did wake up on the wrong side of the bed and as a result fell and bumped his knee really hard on the wooden flooring of his house. The sound of his knee connecting to the floor was so loud it woke everyone, including his trusty dog, Harris. No one was pleased to be woken up at 8 AM, especially not old Harris, causing I, the Zaman, to have this thought. I like the intermissions from the narrator, which just feels like, yeah, the author like had a random thought and it got in.
Well, here's the thing. It's a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Whoever could be the narrator in a setting like this?
Oh. Yeah, that's a lying. Ooh. I did not have a clue or any semblance of one, but I didn't feel like taking several minute detours to think it through. I just wanted to point that out, and I hope some people out there are like me who didn't realize the narrator's identity sooner. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, Borald. Borald buys a dagger, remember that. And the duo regroups back with the party, except for Helia, the Bard Fairy. She shops slower than the rest because she's the rich one and has actual options when it comes to buying things. Eventually, Helia returns and inadvertently flexes on her party for sick new boots and casually says she still has 3,000 gold, while the rest of her party has less than 100 combined. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows because let's slow down and look at something Helia says. Ah, well, if it helps everyone, being rich doesn't make you happy. I think I would rather be dirt poor but happy than be rich and depressed. Which is a very cliche line, but it's one that does help characterize Helia. Her accidental bragging brought the mood down, and right there she did try to help bring it back up, even if it was in vain, showing the amount she cares about her party, which is sweet. Also, she's my favorite character from this party, and I think she's an interesting. Following that, the mood is brought back up by some more goops, and the party heads out of town to go and fight the dragon. Well, find him. Along the way, conversations are had. Helia teaches Clams how to play the mandolin. What is that? This. One of these, which she has. It's easier than a guitar, apparently. And it's also a special tool used for slicing ingredients to uniform. Oh, and Constantine ends up giving Trix a piggyback ride on the way there. It's a very cute. As for Borald, he's not really interacting with the party. Instead, kinda just walking apart from them, thinking about how he used to have friends like that. But eventually they all grew distant after Borald began to feel confused and uncertain of himself, especially uncertain about his identity. He tried to explain this to his friends back then, but they just pulled away from him. Unfortunately, we can't let Borald delve any deeper on that fact for the moment, because there's wolves abound! Wolves! So throw that introspection out the window, for now, as the party faces down a band of fearsome creatures. She's so cute.
Listen, I need you to know the wolves look, I need you to know the wolves look like this because Kristi told me at legit like fucking midnight that we need wolf sprites, and it was like 2 days before the game, so I was like, I can do this.
Look, okay, the purple one looks cool. This blue one looks cunning. This yellow one I love. I'd buy a plushie of that guy. The fight is on, and the group splits into 3 duos to each take on a wolf. Constantine and Helia, Trix and Clams, Borald and Lydia. Something cool to show in full is how each character has their own little battle sprite, which is a very lovely detail. Constantine drew a cool spear and poses. Lydia busts out the mandolin, but cool like. Clams is ready to shank. Trix is about to be that girl from the meme. Lydia pulls out a tiny axe, which is really cute. Though the artist did explain to me that they couldn't do a big battle axe for her because it wouldn't work with the base pose for her. And yeah, teeny little axe plus shield was the better choice. It's funny. Borald looks incredibly menacing. So it's no surprise those wolves get utterly mollywopped. Except for the one Borald and Lydia are fighting because Borald hasn't done anything yet. It's his first time in combat. After some deliberation, he tries firing off an eldritch blast, only to become suddenly overwhelmed by a flood of memories. People laughing at him when he said he would become an adventurer. People pulling away from him. These thoughts cause his attack to utterly miss, and the wolf capitalizes by lunging at him. Thankfully, Lydia beats it back, and Helia swoops in to kill Steele by insulting the wolf with vicious mockery. Your mother wasn't a very nice wolf. In fact, dare I say, she was one of the worst wolves to ever walk this planet. Maybe that's why the hunter killed her. Fuck you. Killing the wolf. With that, the party licks their no wounds and heads up to a small town on the road to rest up for the evening at a tavern. With Borald especially feeling down, a little worthless after missing that spell. Trix, on the other hand, is excited, shouting, "Non-alcoholic drinks, let's go!" Cut to the tavern, and the party kinda splits up to enjoy their night their own way. Trix and Clams go goof off elsewhere. Borald goes to get a little too much drinky drink. Constantine sees a hot Minotaur man from his past and decides to brush up on his riz. And Lydia, well, she decides to go talk to Borald. As Lydia's approaching, two ladies try to hit on Borald, but after the first one speaks, the second one says, "Don't bother him, it's clear he's not in the mood." Borald, currently a wee bit drunk, has a small surge of boldness and lets their raw emotion take hold. Having felt a certain level of disgust at being referred to as he or him, gaining the courage to speak up by saying, "Please, don't use that. Him. It makes me uncomfortable." To which the woman responds by saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, what do you prefer then?" They are apologetic, which surprises Borald. Not much else is said as Lydia arrives, and the two ladies run off after explaining their mistake to her. Ahem. Interruption. Hiya, Zaman here. I wanted to point out a detail I liked. So at all prior points before this moment, the narrator referred to Borald using he/him pronouns. But after this instant, they swapped to using they/them pronouns for the rest of the game. That's a nice detail for the narrator, and also what I'll be doing going forward. That's all. Return to video now. Zwip! Borald and Lydia begin talking. Borald explains how they felt uncomfortable being referred to as he/him, but tries to brush it off as nonsense. Lydia, however, does her best to affirm that, no, it's not nonsense, doing her part to support Borald, though the conversation gets cut short as Trix and Clams somehow get involved in a bar fight. Lydia says that her and Borald should postpone this very serious conversation for a later time, when they aren't in a loud bar that isn't very private, instead suggesting that Borald go and speak to the rest of the party. Hang out a little, get to know them, because they really haven't been doing that, and Borald agrees to go along. Then, I, the player, am given a choice, and my friend Dolly looks me in the eye and lies to me.
Just so you know, this isn't a one-and-done option. You gotta go through all of these and then you get the story progresses after. It's just a matter of who you want to talk to first.
Oh, why'd you spoil it?
Because I figured you'd be scared sitting here and paralyzed in fear that you only get one option.
Yeah, but that's
No, I
fun!
made a decision. Yes, it's fair.
Now you just get to tell me who you like.
Alright, screw it, won't kill ya.
No pressure.
That false knowledge in hand, I, at the moment, haphazardly choose Helia. Borald and Lydia go find Helia, who is in the midst of earning 1,000 gold while performing a song. A song that they soon realize is recounting Helia's past adventures with the party. In fact, it's the story of how she met the party. It's pretty endearing. However, Helia did rob Constantine, Lydia, Trix, and Clams because, well, she liked big number go up. After her song finishes, she steps down and goes to speak with Borald and Lydia, both of which praise her. And Lydia replies a bit oddly by saying that it's nice to know someone enjoyed her performance. Naturally, Borald inquires on that because that's kind of a weird thing to say after you just made 1,000 gold because people liked your music. So Helia goes on to explain to how she acquired her current bout of depression, stating that it's a result of a curse her ex casted on her some 7 years, 10 months, 2 days, and 16 hours ago. The curse in question causes Helia to hear two asshole critics over her shoulders at all times, questioning and criticizing every choice she ever makes. never letting her feel satisfied for even a moment. Like, oh, do you know those two critics from Sesame Street? The old guys? These guys?
Yeah. Anyways, the jokes are about to start flying, so watch out for your funny bone.
I tell you to break a leg, but you might take it the wrong way. Yeah, why stop at one?
Them. Now, imagine them going at it. Constantly, 24/7, together, in the same room, and you can't leave. You just have to stay there, hear them, and watch. Literally hell. Borald and Lydia naturally give their sympathy, which Hylia accepts, and she does acknowledge that while the curse does really suck, it's still not enough to outweigh the good in her life, like the amazing friends she was able to make, which is a very sweet sentiment, and something Borald can take a bit from. After their talk, everyone decides to hit the hay for the night and sleep away any exhaustion they may have. The following morning, the party regroups, talks about what they did, and they all head out, hitting the road and coming across a slime on their way to the dragon, which gets promptly curb stomped into Play-Doh. They travel a bit longer until they stop to rest a little, at which point Lydia decides it's time to pick up her serious conversation forward from the night prior, finding them sitting away from the party, like before. She asks Borald about the incident with the two people from the bar. Borald is a little shocked, thinking that Lydia would have forgotten about it by now. But she responds by saying, "Would you like me to?" Causing Borald to say, "It depends. How do you feel about it?" Lydia then says, "It doesn't matter how I feel about the situation, Borald. What matters is how you feel." The two then start having a proper conversation. Borald explaining that for a long time they have been uncomfortable using he/him, but always bottled it up and never said anything about it, feeling that it would just be easier to roll with what society knew them as. But Borald says even they don't know what they are, and they feel that by questioning these things, people will look at them like a monster or a freak, some kind of freakster. But Lydia affirms that Borald is not any of those things, and their feelings are perfectly normal. Lydia herself went through something similar. She explains that as a trans woman, when she was younger, she felt different from other kids her age, but was afraid to speak up about this or confide in anyone for the longest time. She recounts the day her parents pulled her aside because at that point Lydia wasn't eating and was isolating herself to an extreme degree. So then and there, Lydia told her parents that she was a woman, and for a moment she was afraid of how they would react. But her parents were supportive and talked with their daughter. It was through that love and support that Lydia was able to come out a stronger person. Borald soaks in this knowledge and experience, and says that they don't feel comfortable being referred to as a woman either. Lydia respects that and offers another idea, stating that there are some gender-neutral pronouns, ones that don't lean male or female, which catches Borald's attention, allowing them to state, I think I may prefer they, them, at least for now." And Borald smiles, finally, after so long. This is probably 3.5 hours into the recording, maybe 4. Now, with some newfound confidence, Borald goes to introduce themselves to the rest of the party, for realsies now, despite feeling a little afraid of how they might react, which to no one but Borald's shock, they are accepted. The party is super supportive. More than anything, the party was just a bit concerned because they were starting to think that Borald didn't like them. But that was clearly just a misunderstanding because Borald was being very antisocial. But now that Borald is willing to speak up and talk, things are better than ever, and the whole group enjoys a nice fun chat, which even causes Borald to laugh. With the group now bonded, they make one final push towards the dragon's cave, encountering no other obstacles until finally they reach its cave. Finding it to be quite quaint, not a body outside, cautiously they approach and make their way inside, finding body after body of adventurers. Many have died here, Still, they press onwards further into the cave until they finally come face to face with the monster. It asks, why have they come here? Trix exclaiming, "We've come to defeat you!" Lydia angrily yelled, "Why? Why did you kill innocent people?" To which the dragon retorts,
"Innocent? They tried to kill me. Wouldn't you do the same if strangers came into your home and threatened to take your life?"
However, everyone except Borald isn't having it, and they all prepare to engage the dragon. A pitched battle ensues. Constantine is injured. Trix launches a very not effective fireball. Clams performs a rogue sneak attack. Lydia casts Toll of the Dead, but the save is beaten, no effect. Borald takes their turn and casts Summon Swords! The battle rages on, but both sides are pushed to their limit, forcing the dragon to unleash its ultimate attack, a massive energy breath blast. Thinking fast, Lydia tries to cast protection on Borald because she knows that while the rest of the party will be knocked out by the blast, Borald will instead be killed by it if they take it head on. Despite Borald's reservations, they heed Lydia's words and accept the spell. Flames engulf the caves, and the entire party, save for Borald, is knocked out. Borald stands alone against the dragon. Everyone is defeated, and everyone is counting on them. For should the dragon target any downed party member, it will instantly kill them. While downed, everyone cheers Borald on, telling them to finish the job, kill the dragon. They believe in them. However, another thought flashes through Borald's mind. The dragon earlier stated,
"They tried to kill me,"
causing Borald to see the dragon in a new light, see them as a person, someone who was hurting, someone who was alone. Yet their newfound friends were beaten, near death, and hurt. There could be no forgiving of this dragon. Right? The game then presents me, the player, with a choice yet again. Pet the dragon, or kill it. I talk this over with my friends, and select...
Oh, you wanted smoke! You wanted smoke! Lydia's the one who still wanted to fight. The dragon explained itself and Lydia wanted smoke. She got smoke.
I will say, if you're looking for more content for the video, Pet the Dragon gives you more art.
Maya, what's your suggestion here?
Honestly, I agree with the dragon here. The dragon's objectively right in that.
So pet or kill?
Pet the dragon. Kill your friends.
Alright, we'll pet the dragon. Wait, what? Are you sure? No,
Yeah,
I'm not
commit.
sure.
Oh my god.
Guy, no.
Indecisive.
Reload the fucking save.
I know.
I don't know
see.
what's what happens though.
Choosing to kill the dragon just to annoy my friends. A truly just cause. Borald draws their dagger and sinks it into the dragon's flesh. As it's dying, the dragon states,
"Just know that you killed me without knowing my story. That the only reason you murdered me was because other people said I was something to be scared of."
and yeah, now I feel really bad. From there, potions are divided out, and everyone is brought back to their feet. Oh, and Trix has Constantine cut the dragon's head off so they can present it and get their 10,000 gold, resulting in this pretty artwork. Also, Helia Small. As the party is counting their spoils, enjoying their victory, Borald asks if they can remain in the party going forward. And of course, everyone in the group cheers, "Yeah!" Because who wouldn't want to have this dragon-slaying badass on the team? Okay, no, that doesn't feel right. Let's go back and do what I actually promised to do. So after selecting Pet the Dragon 3 times in a row, the narrator says, Are you sure you want to do this? You're definitely going to die." To which Trix interrupts by saying, Oh my god, they said yes! Let them roll to pet the dragon already!" The narrator relents, and we are told that someone named River has now grabbed a d20 and prepares to roll it. In one motion, the dice are rolled. They move across the table until landing on a nat 20! That took 3 goddamn, causing the table to erupt into a massive cheer. The GM, Theo, even has to look over their board to verify that the dice actually landed on that coveted 2 plus 0. Ahem. Interruption. The people at this table, the players, yeah, their names are Jaime, or probably Jamie. My brain just autocorrects to Jaime. Sorry. Cassandra, Violet, Nicole, and Adam. You can see everyone here, and I just like how everyone's design kinda mirrors the character that they're playing, which is a nice detail. I think that's who they're playing. After the initial excitement passes, we return to the world of the game, and Borald pets the dragon. Borald comforts the dragon, telling them that they're hurting. Not like physically, because, well, I mean, the dragon it did just get mollywopped by a party of adventurers, but Borald meant emotionally. It's hurting emotionally. Because it has been attacked unjustly just because it exists. And I do like what the dragon says about this.
It hurts. It hurts knowing that people are scared of you because of who you are, without even getting to know you.
And there's a lot to unpack there. I think. There probably is. But I am not going to try and elaborate on that, because truthfully, I am super underqualified to tackle that. Maybe after I do some more education courses I'll know. Following that, Borald asks the dragon what its name is. The dragon revealing itself to be Daldris. Name now known, Borald invites the dragon to join the party, and at that, the rest of the party, despite being unconscious, starts yelling about how much they want this to happen. The players would of course be excited about this, it's cute. Daldris then agrees to join the party, and they take to the skies. Players now discussing the future of the campaign with Borald as a fully fledged member of the group. Also, I do love how this final image displays every character so nicely. Trix and Clam are goofing off, Healy is above them, a little distant, but content to be with everyone. Constantine is reclining on the reliable rock that is Lydia, and Borald finally looks content and happy to have found the place where they belong. The dragon is also sick as hell. I like the scale pattern. And just like that, the task of slaying the dragon was failed successfully. The session comes to an end, and then there's just this post-game bit here about the players interacting and having fun basking in their victory. But we'll skip past this because, well, that's the reward for playing the game. So go and do it. This game's like an hour or 2 tops. Following the nice post-game wrap-up, there's a quieter scene where Lydia's player speaks to River's player. River saying thank you to Jamie, telling her thank you for what Lydia said to Borald when they spoke at that one clearing in the forest, saying it felt really nice to get confirmation about their identity in a game, which is a very sweet sentiment, allowing the story to come to a close. And before I give my final thoughts on the game, look at the credits, it's cute. And here are the opinions of my friends, one of which may have worked on this game. I apologize for their audio quality. Then yeah, so Maya, what is your thoughts on this lovely little visual novel here?
It was really fun. It's 1 a.m. and I'm really tired.
Was this in fact worth a late Friday night of spontaneous recording?
It was in fact. I really did enjoy the artwork. It was very animated for a visual novel. Not a lot of them really do that much with poses and stuff. It really is the case. But seeing so much dynamic movement, even just with the visual, yeah, I really liked it. The story was good too.
Alrighty, and you over there, Dolly, do you have any thoughts on this lovely game that you clearly have no relation to, right?
Hi, I'm Dolly Rabbit, formerly known as Will Rabbit. I would definitely say that this game is amazing. It's perfect in every way. It did not struggle at all, and I think everyone should buy it. I think you should give us money. But in all honesty, I did have fun in the production aspect of it. Kristi is an amazing writer, and I knew that if I could bring her work to Vision, that would be a great thing for me. If there's one thing I could go back and do, I would probably get better at drawing hands. The hands in this one don't look too close. But no, yeah, ultimately I think it's a great game.
Yep, and that's everyone's thoughts. Alright, that's it. That's
Wait,
it
what
for
are your
the-
thoughts? You coward.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I gotta write that out.
No, you gotta say it now so we
Oh
can
yeah,
know.
you're
We
a
need
little
1
script
a.m.
boy. You're a
call.
little script boy who likes to write things with paper.
Now then, what did I think of this game? Personally, I liked it. I know I'm probably not the target demographic of this game, but that's probably fine. A simple-minded guy like me can really enjoy this. I thought the writing was snappy and that the story was worth telling. While I personally can't relate, I still find it compelling and got endeared to Borald. I wanted their story to have a good outcome, and for them to come out a better, stronger person, which is exactly what I got, making the read a very worthwhile. However, while I do like Borald, I think the main stars of this game are the rest of the party. Lydia, Constantine, Helia, Trix, and Clams. They were all very distinct and had enough time and personality to be really memorable and enjoyable. They're a solid cast with a good dynamic, they're super fun, and they feel like friends who have known each other for a good while. It's also pretty reminiscent of D&D parties, which I think is part of the points. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. Soundtrack is also very cute. In particular, I think my favorite song is the battle theme. It's very tense and kind of reminds me of the Dragon Quest battle theme, like the one from Dragon Quest IX. Oh, and I should mention I had a lot of fun recording this video. The game, like I said earlier, is maybe 2 hours tops, but I was playing with friends, and that took us about 5 hours. We had a blast. Anyway, I would recommend playing this. There's choices in the game that I didn't include, dialogue and character development that are much better in the moment. And oh, I didn't even mention how I liked the motion of the visual novel. Like, I thought it was so fun and charming how there were zooms, characters moving around the screen. That was fun and that really elevated the experience. Also, once again, go check out Kristi HusbandoGoddess Jimenez. She's probably cooking up something really cool. And make sure to check out the rest of the team who worked on this. They also seem like very cool people. Their information and Twitters are in the description below. And that about covers this game. This was super fun. I'll probably play another visual novel and describe it in this style again at some point in the future. Also, it feels really good to cover a full game again after Blank Dream, which is a video I made. And if you liked this one, then go check that out, cause I worked and cooked real hard on it. Additionally, next upload, get ready for a big Persona video. I'm very excited for it. Very. Anyway, I've been Azaman, and thank you very much for watching this video. So consider sticking around if you don't hate my voice. My sole goal here is to improve my writing, editing, and speaking. Goodbye.